Just wait for a few people to join. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'll just wait for a few people to join and then we'll start. Hi. Hi, Janaid. Hi, Jake. Hi, Janaid.
What up, though?
You good?
Yeah, man.
Good. All right, so we'll get started then. I mean, we've got a few people who've joined anyway. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to our first talk with Peer-to-Peer Live. Thank you to everyone who's joined. And also happy Friday. Thank you for all joining us on a Friday evening as well. I know we'd all rather be out doing other things, but we're very, very grateful.
For 3 hours.
What?
If we went out, it would only be for 3 hours.
It's true, exactly, with the lockdown.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get started. So for people who don't really know what we're about, we are called Peer-to-Peer Education, and we are a organisation that basically offers different life skill sessions to young people. And what we try and do is speak about topics that need to be spoken about and can sometimes be a little bit uncomfortable, can be a little bit difficult to kind of speak to young people about. And so we want to be the organisation and the company that can actually do that. So we've been discussing kind of at headquarters, we've been discussing different ways that we could potentially support young people and be a positive kind of influence and role models for young people today. With the current circumstances, we thought it would be very important to address a number of subjects, and we thought, what better way to do it than through lives on Instagram. So today we're going to be speaking about mental health. Very, very, very important topic. It's something that's very close to home for myself, and I think it's quite close to home for a number of people as well. So we want to be able to give people that platform to be able to speak about it freely without any kinds of judgment or people looking at them like they're crazy or that they're overreacting or anything like that. So we want people to be able to openly speak about it.
This is a safe place.
This is a safe place, exactly, 100%. And I think that's what a lot of us here at Peer2Peer are just trying to promote and trying to push forward. So just to kind of give you guys a little insight into what's going on in the world at the minute, as we're all aware, we are in a pandemic, and the levels of mental health kinds of problems and concerns that people have that are having at the moment has increased significantly due to coronavirus. Now these are kind of a mixture of people struggling with the lockdown, so that's them being confined in their own homes and not being able to leave, and also the kind of anxiety towards coronavirus itself, because we're all unaware of what it really is. We don't know what it is, we don't know who it's affecting, or etc. We don't know the full ins and outs of it. So just to give you guys a little statistic quickly, I wrote them down a little bit, wrote a little script down and wanted to give you guys some like proper statistics so you know that we know what we're talking about. So more than half of adults, that's 60%, and over 2/3 of young people, 68%, have said that their mental health has significantly got worse during lockdown. I think for my personal experience and having to deal with the lockdown myself, and being quite an anxious person myself, I know that being locked in my house for months and not going to work and not having any normality was a massive struggle for me. It was very, very difficult. And I know that I'm not the only person who felt that way. So I think it's really important that we can kind of speak about it, and we can also find out ways that we can help each other with coping mechanisms. So I know one thing for me that I kind of tried to do whilst I was in lockdown was just like cleaning, keeping the house clean and tidy. I know that I was just...
So you wasn't cleaning before?
Of course I was cleaning before, but more actively. More actively, because prior to that I was at work all the time. Work consumed my life. And so at first I think it was quite a nice thing, and then it got to like the second month, the third month, the fourth month, and I was like, right, okay, what is going on? And then me and my partner, unfortunately, we was actually both furloughed at the same time. So then that
so you lot was around each other a lot more.
Yeah. So we was in the house, both of us, 24/7, which actually worked out really well. I thought we was going to be kind of ripping each other's heads off. We weren't. It went really, really well, and I thoroughly enjoyed being able to spend as much time with him as I did. And to be honest with you, he was my rock. He was my absolute rock throughout the entire time that I was in lockdown. On the days that I was kind of feeling a little bit stressed out and quite anxious and not really, you know, when you're in the unknown, you don't really know what's coming next. He was just there for me, and I think that's a massive thing that a lot of people who suffer with mental health need to have around them, and that is just a support person, and someone who understands what they're going through and is just there to help them. Now I know in some cases unfortunately people don't have that, but it is also a mixture of people sometimes feeling like they're burdening themselves on other people. And that's why they don't reach out to other people or try and find their little comfort buddy or anything like that, because they're actually anxious or worried about laying off their kinds of stresses and worries on other people. And so then they literally just deal with it within themselves. I've been in that position before, where you literally feel like a burden. You don't want to like lay off your problems. You don't even want to speak about it. You're just like, do you know what? I'm going to deal with it myself, and just leave it as that. But I think it's really important to just have a support network around you. Just to kind of big up my family as well. My family have been amazing. My sisters have supported me thoroughly. My sister's the CEO of the company. Whoop, whoop. Big up this bit. Hi, Hina, wherever you are. So yeah, like they've been amazing. And just talking about it, getting it off your chest, and realizing that you're not the only person who's going through it in the world. There are other people that feel exactly the same way that you do. Hi. So yeah, I mean, I know I've been kind of blabbering on, but if you want to take over, Junaid, and just give us a little insight. I know I've been talking a lot, so.
Yeah. Also, guys, keep writing your comments. I'm reading them. You guys are just cheering us on, but like if I see a lot of you agreeing, but yeah, share your 2 pence as well. You see how you was like in close quarters with your partner and whatnot, so that prior to the lockdown, I mean, this has gone all the way back in March. Can you believe we're in October now?
Yeah.
Like, it's actually been a long time of lockdown, fake lockdown. Yeah, it's been a real long time. Actually, do you know what? Before I continue, I want to make there's a clear difference between mental health and mental illness.
Yeah.
We all have mental health. And sometimes it's good mental health, sometimes it's bad health. The same way we have physical health, we all have mental health. And it's nothing to be like, oh, let me not say anything because I don't want to be labeled as this person or that person. It's not. We all have mental health. Yeah. And if I were to, I'm never ever going to hit you, by the way, but if I were to punch you in the face, your physical health would be affected, right? Yeah. Yeah. And there's nothing shameful about that. So what lockdown did, it was a punch in our face to our mental health. It was a punch in our face to our mental health. So it's going to be affected regardless. Yeah. And so yeah, let me just make it clear. So mental health, mental illness, two different things. We're talking about mental health right here and how it's affected and coping mechanisms to go through. So yeah, you was in close proximity with your partner prior once lockdown started. With me, before lockdown, I was working so many different jobs. Obviously, I was doing some stuff with P2P. Hold on 1 second. Chris! When you came here, the door was closed. Thank you.
Sorry,
I was
just
doing some stuff with P2P.
last,
Yeah.
someone just commented. Did you want us to speak about triggers or things that trigger us to make us
Yeah.
away?
I hope and pray everyone stays safe. Oh, but no, yes. We'll speak on triggers.
Yeah.
But we'll add those as we go
Confirming,
on.
asking us. Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing some stuff with you guys. I was working in a few gyms, in a theater, plus I was working so I was working all over the place. As soon as lockdown came, all of my side jobs, I was furloughed.
Yeah.
So I was only doing one job. That meant I was home a lot more, something I haven't done in years. So I was around my kids, my niece who just come in and mess up the life, my nieces and my nephew. I was around them a lot more, spending so much more time with them. And that was actually like the rest I needed. That was something positive to my mental health. It actually took the stress away, the relief away. There's times when I can just wake up and I don't have to do nothing because everywhere's closed and whatnot. So it was great in that aspect. I didn't feel like I was missing something outside. And financially, well, I'm going outside less, so I'm spending less. I still had a job and I was still making money, whatever. So, but all those things aside, it still wasn't a normal way of life.
Yeah.
In the midst of my regular life, I would often go to the gym a lot. It wasn't a hobby. It wasn't for like physical gains or anything like that. It was part of my lifestyle. Lockdown happened, so no gym. Okay, so I got to work out.
Sorry to cut you. Can I also just say that the gym was a massive place for people to go and release their stress.
This is what I was just saying. Yeah, it was a lifestyle.
Factor to people's mental health declining, because I know people that's in the gym 6-7 days a week because it's just something that's part of them and they have to do it in order to feel normal or to help them feel better in themselves. And it's proven that exercise improves your mental health anyway. It does.
And physical. I have a friend, he used to live in this country right now. He got stuck in America, now he's living in America, really. Yeah, loopholes and everything. He even got married out there. So he got a green card marriage. But yeah, when he's over there, I'd be on the phone working out, he'd be working out. But it was just something that we did. And when that gets taken away from you, it's like, whew.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to think of like alternatives, not even just for me, because I had a lot of clients as well that I would train in the gym. I had to think of alternatives. Okay, how am I going to help them reach their physical goals with no gyms and everything like this? And trying to buy stuff online, it was retarded because everybody was buying equipment online.
Yeah.
The gyms were closed. All right, cool. Let me buy gym equipment.
And the prices were extortionate. The prices were absolutely extortionate. The prices that these companies bought, they literally.
I used to be able to get a kettlebell for like £20 or something like that. Now, triple the price. It's a joke. It was such a joke, but we made it work, innit, man. I started doing clients via FaceTime.
Yeah.
Couple clients that felt comfortable with me seeing them in person. We'll do like bodyweight exercises, but just something to just keep the mind flowing and everything like this. And but it was a challenge for me because it was just be like, okay, do I fold or do I rise to the challenge? And then it was kind of exciting for me because it's be like, okay, this is going to be interesting. Like, am I going to be broke? Like, going to debt, or am I just going to rise to the occasion and keep it cool? But aside from all of that, man, I found happiness being around my kids a lot more. Like, before lockdown, I'd never see them go to bed at night. Never. When lockdown started, they're like, oh, daddy, aren't you going to work? I was like, no, I can watch you go sleep. To the point now, like, things have eased off a little bit, workers pick up. Now when I leave, they're like, oh, daddy, where you going?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, that I miss you.
Such a massive, like a massive chunk of the year they literally experienced having so much time with us and us being around each other constantly. I had the same thing with my little boy. So prior to lockdown, he was having to go to breakfast club every morning, and then my little brother was picking him up from school every day. I was finishing work at 6 o'clock at night. I was picking him up at 7. We wasn't getting home until 7:30. We was having dinner, going to bed. That was our standard routine. Then as soon as we went into lockdown, I was like, wow, okay, this
Everything
is
just magnified.
time with my son. I'm being able to do things with him. Like, we was doing our arts and crafts. My other half had his little boy coming round as well. So we just had both of them. We was like, wow, okay, we're actually constantly in the house together as a family. This hasn't happened like this or as regularly as this in I don't know how long, because we'd only ever have weekends. And both of us, me and my partner, both of us share our weekends with the other parent. So it's every other weekend that we get to spend the full weekend with our kids. So for us to be able to do it on weekdays as well was like, wow, okay, this is amazing. This is great. Like,
I was in no hurry. I think they opened the schools again in like June, July. I was like, nah, you guys ain't going back to school. You already
yeah.
missed it. What's the point? Staying home. I loved having them home. It was so great.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. And just to kind of go back to what you were saying about you finding alternative ways to obviously like speak with your clients from the gym and stuff like that. My other half, I hope he doesn't mind me talking about this. He should be fine. He's joined,
No
but
one
he's
knows his name. No one knows his name.
yeah,
So good.
So he basically he had a moment during lockdown where he was really struggling, and he just basically said to me and spoke to me and said, "Listen, this is the first time since I was about 18 that I haven't ever worked for this period of time. I'm so used to working. I'm so used to having normality. This is too much for me." And he was struggling. I'll be completely honest with you. He was struggling. Luckily enough, one of his friends made a home gym in his garden. So he then started going there every single day without fail. He was going there like 5-6 days a week. He was just there. And you saw a massive, like, improvement in his mental health. Like, I saw it myself. So I think that's just a good way of showing how to make something good out of a negative, if that makes
Out
sense.
of the worst situation. Yeah. Because ultimately, because we're gonna have desires. We're gonna want anything we want in life. Innit? I remember hearing this very young. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, because he's gonna mess it up. Is that what you want? Is that what you think? Yeah, cool. But I say this every morning. I say, like, good vibes only, positive vibes always, love over everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like positive vibes always. That was the round I'm talking about, is because no matter what situation you're in, you have to find a positive meaning out of it. So like now in lockdown, you had like a real life awakening. Wow, I'm spending so much time with the kids. Where I'm not working. We're okay. So for me, I was like, I actually like this. I want to do this more than I want to go back to work. Like,
yeah.
So when things open again and jobs start coming at me, it's like, all right, maybe I do not need to be so keen going back to work, because the kids value my time with them.
Yeah.
But now,
just to basically read out what my sister's just said, what Hina's just said. It's so important for people to understand that when you're having a difficult day and when you're struggling, it is okay to sit in bed all day and mope about and feel sad and feel upset and angry with what's going on. It is okay to not be okay. I know there's that quote going around everywhere.
What do you call that though?
What do you call what?
When you stay in bed all day and you just cry and you let it all out.
That is release. That is accepting and understanding
A coping mechanism. So that is a form of coping mechanism. So let's call it a coping
100%.
mechanism. Yeah.
100%.
I feel like if we're going to do something, it has to serve a greater purpose. I'm not just going to stay in bed all day for the sake of it. I'm going to do it with the mindset, okay, I'm going to do this. Once I've done this, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be fine. I've released all the negative energy through my tears. And because if we lose sight of that while we are doing these things, it becomes a habit. I don't believe in, all right, I'm in a crap situation, I'm going to mope. Oh, Why am I moping for? Oh, I'm upset, I'm upset, I'm upset. And then moping becomes, it's not just a one-off, it becomes the habit, it becomes a way of life.
Yeah.
If you're gonna mope, do it in the name of it being a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be upset, if you're gonna be sad, I don't deal with death very well. And
Yeah.
it was some years back that I lost someone real close to me. I didn't talk to nobody. That was just how I dealt with it.
Yeah.
And I carried that for a while, and it took me years. I don't need that certain things. I don't even talk about it. Like I still don't talk about it. But it took me years and years and years to just be like, all right, I'm okay. I'm cool with it now.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is, and whatnot. But
you know what? I mean, me and my sisters are. I mean, we don't really like to talk about it too much on social media or anything like that. But we actually lost our mum nearly 5 years ago.
I was just about to say, you don't have to say who it was.
No, it's fine.
Said,
I don't mind speaking about it.
yeah.
But each of us individually have dealt with it in a completely different way. Now,
how many sisters are there?
We're three sisters.
You're the middle one, right?
I'm the middle one, yeah. And then we've got a little brother as well, who was actually 10 at the time that my mum passed away. So he was very young. But we have all had our own individual ways of dealing with it, and it still hurts to this day. Don't get me wrong. That's never going to change. You never forget about what's happened. You never forget about who she is. But there's just ways that each of us have dealt with it and handled it. So I know she's not going to be too happy about me pointing her out a little bit, but with my little sister, she just doesn't like to talk about it as much. We talk about my mum, but she just doesn't like to talk about her feelings too much.
She had the least time with your mum, though.
Yeah, she did. But with me and my older sister, we're both very open about crying to each other, or if I watch a video with my mum in it, or I hear a song that reminds me of her or something like that, I feel no way about crying and saying I feel really upset right now. I feel like I'm missing out on something right now. I feel like she's missing out on something right now. It makes me upset. And that's fine to deal with it that way. But the way that my other sister deals with it is also fine. I just want to make that known. It's also fine for someone to not want to talk about it as much as the other person wants to talk about it. That's the way that they cope with it. That's the way that they deal with it. So looking at someone who might be going through a traumatic time or might be struggling, just because they're not talking about it or blabbing it out on social media or telling the whole world about it, does not mean that they're not dealing with it or that they're not feeling it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone deals with it in different ways. And I think it's so important to understand that everyone has their own different coping mechanisms. Everyone has their own different ways of expressing how they feel. Sometimes it can come out in anger. Sometimes it can come out in happiness. Sometimes it can come out in sadness. It can come out in all different ways. We're all completely different people. Like my sister just said, mental health can be silent. You don't always have to tell the whole world about it.
You said this at the start as well, how much of a support system you had with your family and whatnot. And everyone's going to deal with things in their own way, but this is why it's important. But you cannot just forget about them. This is why it's so important to check on your strong friend, check on your silent friend,
100%.
check on your silent friend. Just check. It's like my friends, they know me, innit? Like when what happened, they just left me alone. People that didn't really know me, they wanted to pry and just pull stuff out of me. But the ones that really knew me, it was John, you okay? I was like, yo, come, let's go do this. And it's like, all right, cool. He's all right. But every now and then, because you're never really too sure. Like, I might be in this live like this right now. You might think, wow, what's wrong with Junaid? Junaid, what's wrong? Oh, I'm starving. I eat and then you see my face like, but all it was just, I'm just starving. Or I could just be in deep thought, just thinking, raw, I got direct debits due tomorrow and I'm in my overdraft. I could be thinking like that, and it's like, you know what? Oh, effort, I can't deal with this no more. You see what I'm saying? But it's important. Yo, let me just. Yo, you good? Yeah, I'm just hungry. Oh, okay. Yo, you good? I'll be real with you. You know, I need to.
You know what? It doesn't even need to be like a prying situation where you're prying and prodding to get all information. Just say, "Are you okay? Are you all right? You sure? Okay, good." Like,
that's it.
Do you know what I mean? It can be simple, and I also think it's very important for people to understand that sometimes people just need time. Eventually, they will come out and speak to you and tell you exactly what they're going through or stuff like that. But sometimes people just need time. It's so important that we respects that, and we don't pry and prod and try and get information out of them or try and get them to lay everything out on the table. Do you know what I mean? At first instance.
So as we have this platform, because what we must realize, we are very spoiled, you and I, because having this conversation, I realize we're very spoiled. Like, if I wanted to, I could fall off for a year and both my kids will be taken care of, and not from by their mom, obviously by their mothers, but my family and my friends, they've got my back. I could fall off for a year and they'll pick up the set. In that instance, I'm spoiled. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people out there that don't have that kind of support system.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there, they can't turn to nobody. They go through what they go through. Imagine you're going through a pandemic. You have your work colleagues, those were your only colleagues. You're on furlough now. Now you don't have nobody.
Yeah.
You come home, people you live with, they don't understand you, they don't know you. You have no
And
one
some
to vent.
people were also going home to no one. They was in
And
lockdown by
yeah,
themselves,
yeah,
alone
but
with their
who do you
own
open
thoughts.
up to?
No children, no family, no nothing. There was people going through this pandemic alone, which I sit
I'm
here
ready
and
for
I think,
I'm ready for the
wow.
podcast, by the way. Someone said I'm already set up.
Yes.
My team's dropping this weekend. But yeah, they go through so much. It's crazy. I was on holiday. I was in Cyprus in August. I'm on holiday. Normally I'm on my phone just to post, get people jealous, and go about my business. But my brethren, he called me. My brethren, he called me. He's just like, I'll be real with you. You're the only one I can reach out to. I'm going through this and this. Help. I'm like,
Wow.
I was getting ready. Are you crazy? I'm on holiday, but I read the message again. I was like, oh I literally had to pause on my holiday and just be like, yo, all right,
Yeah.
like, because it could have very easily been a situation where it's just like, you know what, F everything, and I'm gonna react to the situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna react, and it's those situations where like you get instances where I may not like cause harm to myself, I just cause harm to someone else. There's mothers that that drown and kill their babies because they don't know how they're gonna raise this baby in this world.
Yeah.
The pressure of this world is too much. I'm just gonna kill my baby because I can't feed you tomorrow, and I can't watch you slowly die and starve to death. So they just boom, just kill them, drown. There's people that they go through those things.
Yeah.
But if you think that if that woman just had someone, yo, Janaid,
Can you give me, like, I don't know how I'm gonna
I'm
make
sorry,
it
look,
eat,
the
or I
formula
don't
is
know how I'm gonna
only
feed my
£10.
child.
I promise
Yeah.
you, I'll pay you back.
Yeah.
You know, if you just had someone, you know, pay me back £10 for formula, what you done?
You know,
Like, I'll give you that.
You know, just a little kind of insight into someone who has.
I lost you. Yeah.
Get the phone
Oh,
call.
someone called you. Yeah.
So yeah, like just an example of me kind of being a single parent at one point and not really getting too much support from my son's dad, and I genuinely don't know what I would have done without the support of my family. When it comes to the financial side of things, when I wanted to go to work and I needed babysitters or I needed someone to look after my son while I was at work or to pick him up from school, etc., I look at people who don't have that and I would want to be that person for them because I've experienced it from a privileged kinds of point of view and from the privileged side of being so blessed and so lucky to have my family who have helped me out massively. I would want to then be that support person for someone else. So I know that if I was at a school, if I was at my son's school picking up my son or something like that, and one of the mums come up just randomly asked me and said, "Oh, do you mind just picking up my son from school today?" or just little things like that, I would do it, no
It
hesitation.
goes a long way. Yeah, it goes a long way.
And
It really goes a long way.
And I just hope that this kind of live can make people feel like they could be that person for someone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but we went off on a waffle. But yeah, it was like so. So before lockdown, working a lot. During lockdown, spent more time with my kids. Realized, okay, I want to do this some more. So now it goes, okay, so post lockdown, what can I do to get the best of both worlds? Be a provider,
Yeah.
be able to build a future, because I want generational wealth, and by that, I mean, I don't want my kids to pay for the house they live in. I don't want their kids to pay for the house they live in, and so on and so forth. I want that to go on for generations. We don't need like a Ferrari. I'm not talking that kind of wealth. I'm talking about for the roof that's over your head. I don't want I don't want me or none of my kids to pay for. So I already had an idea pre-lockdown how to do it, but now it's changed because I want to be around my kids more and still execute that plan. So now, again, it becomes of making the best of the situation that you're in. It's like, all right, cool. So how can I do this? And so then went back to the drawing board, and it was just like, okay. But all of this was in aid of my mental health, because I could have been left with a decision. Do I have less, stay home with the kids, or have more, don't see my kids? Type of thing. And now I'm left with conflict, and it's like, and just shut down. It's just taking on too much, trying to do too much. And I was like, if I do this, this, and this, and this, all right, cool. So if I don't sleep for 3 days this week, maybe I get everything I want and stuff. But now you're sleep deprived. It's like, what? That's not healthy. That's not healthy. Yeah, man. So it's just, it became a thing of trying to juggle. I'm talking about post-lockdown now. It became a thing of trying to create and juggle a world in which I get the time with the kids, because I'm such a daddy dad. Like I love
That's amazing.
I will stay up play. I do the play fighting, I do the disciplining, I do the cooking. Like I'm really like involved. Like I love being a part like that. So yeah, it's quite taxing on the body when you do all of that and still go work. And plus I still work out. You know, I still want to do all the active things as well. But yo, now that the kids are growing up, man, the amount of clients I've had in the park, I say, yo, kids, we're going to the park. They think, oh yeah, go and park with dad. So they have a great time in the park. And I'm just outside of the fence, and I'm doing 3 or 4 sessions back to back. And then we have a picnic in the park because we're there for so long, we've got to eat. So they have like a great experience with me. And it's just like, okay, bang, it clicks. It's like, okay, create a working force in which, so when the kids reach a certain age, they don't have to go beg a stranger for a job. They've got a job with their dad. They can join the family business, and then we create our own generational wealth and so on.
100%. I don't mean to cut you, but obviously,
I mean,
we've just
I
got a
can
couple
keep
of
going.
questions in the chat. Now,
Is there a way
Carly,
to,
who's
because
also
I'm sure
part of
there's
the
a way we
P2P
can
crew,
add it and make it a question.
she has said, do you think increased use of social media during lockdown had an effect on people's mental health? Now, I know everyone watched The Social Dilemma, which was the kind of like movie thing that was on Netflix. Me and my other half watched it the other day. And what I can say
Is that the one where they monitor everything you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't go into that too much. If anyone wants to watch it, it's called The Social Dilemma on Netflix. It's very informative, and it's on you to watch it. I'm not going to tell no one nothing. It's on you to watch it. I personally think that the increase in the use of social media, full stop, definitely within lockdown, but full stop, has had a massive negative influence on people's mental health. Now, I'll tell you why. Instagram is promoting this unrealistic kind of version of beauty and what you should look like to be considered beautiful. Okay. And it's extremely unfortunate that so many young people nowadays have now become so overwhelmed and obsessed with Instagram that they believe that is the new reality, and it's not. It's absolutely not. And I can say from my own self that I've found myself sometimes scrolling through Instagram and I'm like, wow, okay, these girls look amazing. Wow, they've got amazing bodies. They're covered in designer wear. Oh my God, they're in the Maldives. They've got so much money. It's amazing. And I have found myself sometimes comparing my life to these girls on Instagram. Now, when you actually look deeper into it, and into the backstory of what happens on Instagram and what Instagram actually really is, it's all fake, it's all fabricated, it's all exaggerated. There's nothing real about it. There's filters flying around everywhere. There's like people actually physically editing their bodies. There's people going and getting plastic surgeries, filler, BBL, all of this kind of stuff. It's unrealistic beauty. It is unrealistic levels of beauty that these young people nowadays are trying to aspire to be, and it's a shame. It is a real shame. I've just had someone put on here.
Are you talking about Vinnie Scott?
One second. There's a couple of different things that people have put on here. So Rosie Knight says social media has played a massive part in building the fear factor during the pandemic. 100%, Rosie. What's actually said?
Not social media.
And that's what's going around is fake news.
The Prime Minister
travel faster than true news. Oh, sorry, Junaid,
I'm a bit
your
delayed.
Connection is quite bad.
I thought as much. Yeah. I said the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom voted for, and his political party have played a part in building fear during the pandemic.
100%, and it's been promoted on social media, so people are just consistently surrounded by it. They're constantly reading it and watching it and looking at it, and it's in our faces continuously. Now, I know this is a completely different subject, and I won't go into it too much. This probably will be another live that we have a conversation about. It's about all this kind of police brutality that's going on at the moment, Black Lives Matter, oppression of Black people, all of that kind of stuff that's going on at the moment. And I've said it to people before, and I've had to say it to myself, that it can be such a detriment to our own mental health to be exposed to that much negativity on such a high scale. So if you're continuously on social media and you're continuously watching videos of people getting attacked and violently abused by police, same way that if you are continuously looking at something that you aspire to be, but it is unrealistic, it's going to be a detriment to your mental health. It is 100% going to be a detriment. 1000%. Someone has said, why is social media always blamed for everything? Social media is not being blamed for anything that if it was basically promoting more positivity and it was promoting things that were realistic for people to be able to aspire to be or to reach that kind of level, and it was realistic.
But how can you make the distinction that social media is promoting the thing? So I'll give you an example. I follow over 1,000 people on Instagram, and it's funny, someone said memes, innit? Yeah, I saw a lot of I see like today on your normal day.
Junaid, sorry to cut you, Junaid, but your connection is quite you've gone all like pixelated and you're a bit delayed.
How about now? Because you're coming through quite clear on my side.
Am I?
Yeah. Can you guys leave a comment? Let me know if you lot can hear me all right.
Yeah, can people just comment and make sure that they can see and hear Junaid fine? Because if you guys can hear him and see him, then that's fine.
I mean, can go, because everything's coming all fair. Anyway, but yeah, so like today, on a normal day, like I would see a lot of like funny posts. I'd see my friends and stuff they posting and whatnot, like all the like other stuff, like the influence. Like I just choose not to follow them. But again, that's just me. I get there's a general perspective and whatnot, but it's like, how can you blame social media for that? Like, unless you live on the explore page, you're only going to see posts of people that you follow, and you should be following that positive people.
Junaid,
yeah.
So sorry to cut you. I'm going to cross you off and just rejoin for me, because everyone's saying that they can hear you, but they can't see you. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, just to kind of continue until Junaid joins. This, I think, is your name Sasha? Thank you so much for your comments. And you, oh, bear with me. There we go. Yeah, thank you so much for posting and putting your comments down. Everyone has their own opinions and everyone is entitled to their own opinions. If you love social media, then that is entirely up to you. I'm not sitting here saying that people shouldn't enjoy social media or they shouldn't be on social media. I'm not saying that social media is the worst thing in the world, because I'm on it right now. I have my own personal account. I'm on a live right now with you guys. So I don't disagree with social media as itself. It's just when there are certain things that are fake, or they're like I said, they're fabricated, or they're extremely unrealistic or anything like that. When it's something like that, that's when I don't agree with social media. And I also don't agree with social media basically promoting that if you don't live a certain lifestyle, or if you don't live in a certain way, if you don't have this amount of money, or you're not covered in designer clothes or anything like that, that means that you're not worthy, or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Bear with me. I'm just going to try and get Junaid back on here, because I did just try to add him, but it's been a bit slow. Ah, there we go.
Sweet. My phone was getting too hot.
Okay. No,
So I switched to my
I
iPad.
literally was just saying.
I heard you.
Yeah. Oh, you heard everything.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah. Rosie's just said social media is bittersweet. Sometimes when people are coming from a place of vulnerability, it can be damaging for them. 100%. So if you come from a place where you're, I don't know, let's say for example, you come from a place of poverty, or you come from a place of, or you come from a family that doesn't really have a lot of money, or you don't have a lot of money yourself, when you're constantly exposed to people who are living this lavish lifestyle, or living a life that is basically what everyone wants to live, it's very, very difficult sometimes to watch it and see it, and you not be able to experience it. And the thing is, this is my own
That's a
personal
good point,
opinion, and I'll
Tia.
be completely honest, this is an opinion. I believe that the way that people act on social media sometimes can be carried into real life. Oh, hello, Darth Vader.
Tia made a
Yeah,
great
no,
point.
sometimes I do believe that it can be carried into our real lives, and you kind of go out, and you might go out for a drink, or you might go out to a club or something like that, and it's like, right, okay, I'm going to buy a table, I'm going to pop bottles, I'm going to make sure I post it on social media and all of that kind of stuff. And I just think now that we've kind of made that transition over from social media to the real world, and it's still kind of being brought into the real world, that's where it's got a bit dangerous, because it's
What
happening
age do you think you should be allowed to have an Instagram?
If I'm completely honest, I would say 16. Once you've left secondary school.
I think that's too young. Unless you're a personality and you're making money off it, I think you should be the same
18
age
maybe?
you start university. Yeah,
18?
18.
Okay.
Same age you start university. For all those things people have been saying in the comments,
Yeah.
everything you're exposed to, like, it's very easy. Like, I remember being, and this is before social media, I remember being like a teenager and seeing a pop-up on the internet. You know, you're on the internet when you was a kid, you'd be on www.whatever.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have won a holiday for you and your family. I was an idiot. I called the number, innit? I called the number thinking, oh, so what's the terms and condition? Because it was an 0800 number. And I
Yeah.
knew
Yeah.
0800 means it's free. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's free, it's free, it's free. But you just have to pay this money. Oh, I'm a kid. I don't know. It's like, oh, is a parent around or where? I was like, no, my mom's at work. But let me look for her bank letters or something. It's like, yeah, go ahead, go do that, innit? Thankfully, I got stopped in my tracks, innit? And as I grow up, looking back at that, I was like, right, that was real dumb. That was
Yeah. Yeah.
real dumb. They're going to take my money. I'm going to go to the airport and be like, yeah, I'm on for flight 218 to the islands. They'll be like, that flight don't exist. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. But that's me exposed to, do you know what I'm saying? Now, it's even like, bro,
I just
like,
want
can you
to.
imagine a 15-year-old or even a 16-year-old girl on Instagram, and then someone says, "Rah, you should be a model. Come, let me take photos of you."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so easy because she's seen another 16-year-old girl who is a model and has a nice phone. She has the new iPhone 12. She got nice shoes. She got nice. Oh, okay, this is what she must have done.
I agree with you 1,000%. 1,000%. I agree with what you're saying. But the difficulty for me is that I feel like this is down to what social media is promoting at the moment. When I was 16, to be honest with you, I'll be completely...
I don't think... Do you think Instagram's promoting it? So it's not Instagram, it's Facebook. So the owners of it, do you think they're promoting it? So put it like this.
Social dilemma. I really don't want to keep on going back to it because it's controversial, and I don't want to keep on bringing it up because it is something on Netflix. It's something that's been made by other people.
Okay, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. The mayor of London has created the streets of London, yeah, paved the roads and whatever. Okay, someone as a paedophile, yeah, I'm not even gonna put that energy in there, but someone as a paedophile uses the streets of London to source and traffic kids and recruit kids and paedophile, whatever they do. Is the mayor of London promoting paedophilia?
Do I think he is?
Yeah.
I mean, I could go off.
All he did was like,
I could a whole tangent.
All the people on Instagram have done have created a platform.
Do you know what I mean? I just feel I'm just speaking from a person who is I'm just speaking from a person who has a son myself, because let's not be ignorant to the fact that it's both boys and girls that are on the receiving end of predators. Okay, it's not just girls that are posting up pictures in skimpy outfits on their Instagrams. It's boys as well. Okay, so I'm looking at it from a perspective of someone who has a son and could be a target of a predator. That is what scares me about Instagram and social media. And I'm not disputing. I know people have put in the comments that people are addressed on the street, or I've had grown men trying to speak to me before when I was like 15, trying to move to me and all of these kind of things. I've experienced that myself. But what scares me is because young people are with their phones more than they are anything else. They're with their phones.
Is that the phone company's fault? Is that Instagram's fault? Is that Facebook? I don't think it's none of their faults.
The platform. It is a platform for paedophiles to be able to get onto.
So are the streets of London. So's London Underground.
I'm speaking about, from me as a person, I'm with my child. I'm with my child 24/7. I don't even let the boy go to the shop by himself. And I'm not saying that when he's...
But on his phone, he can escape.
But on his phone, he can go in his bedroom, or he can go on his computer, and I might be in bed. I might go to sleep because I got work the next day. I don't know what's going on his phone. I don't know who's chatting to him.
Okay, then why give him a phone and a PlayStation?
Let me use an example. Just one example of something that happened. I'm not going to name no names. It's just something that I was told, right? So one of my friends has a little boy, and it basically came out that his teacher had been WhatsApping him inappropriate things. The boy was 30 at school. Yeah.
His female teacher?
Male teacher. Male teacher was WhatsApping him inappropriate things and was WhatsApping him on Instagram. Inappropriate things. Your own teacher.
That's dirty.
Your own teacher. So I just... For me, I think it's difficult. It's very healthy to have a debate. I'm more than happy to speak about it. Everyone's got their own opinions.
That's the key right there. We need to talk to our kids. Okay, and this is why I said lockdown was great.
100%.
This is why I said lockdown was great, because I spent more time with my kids. And it's like, my kids are very young. They're 5 and 6. But as they get older, I don't want our relationship to... I want it to get even closer, because... right now, you're good, innit? You go to school, you come out, you don't really have your own identity. But every year you grow up, you get your own identity. You want to live your own life. You're going to be exposed to different things. That's when I want our relationship to be the closest. Yeah. Because I've been where you've been before, and I know how this world is.
Yeah.
So I want to be there every step of the way. So, yo, Dad, you know something happened to me at school today? Someone said that What? I already know that's the early signs. That's the early signs. So I can nip it in the bud there. I don't want you to come to me after the course. No, 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 no. I don't want you to come to me after the course. I don't
Yeah.
want you to come to me during the course. I need to be there every step of the way. Oh yeah, my teacher said, he should have my mobile number, just to help me with my homework and stuff. What the F for? What the no, I can nip it in the bud then.
Yeah.
But but you see what I'm saying? But as a disengaged parent, if my relationship grows further apart, my son might hear that and think, oh yeah, that's cool. You just want my number. Like everyone has my number. You
Yeah.
want to help me with my homework. Son, he's lying to you? No, he's a teacher. He wouldn't lie to me. He's lying to you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
but
I think obviously we have gone over a little bit on the time that we were supposed to, but
it
it's
don't matter,
honestly,
man. It's all good.
I don't mind. It's been amazing. But just to I just want to kind of reel off a little bit and just bring it back to us as peer-to-peer, as an organisation, and just remind anyone in the comments or anything like that, that we have different helplines that we can actually send you in a message. We can DM you the links, anything that you need. If you feel like confidentially as
And
well,
pass it on to other people as well who you think may need it. It's not.
and
Don't be selfish.
we've posted it on our Instagram already, but any kind of parents or anything like that, that are in the comments, or anyone who's got kids or have older kids, we are actually offering free workbooks that we can email over to you, and you can print out, give them to your children and do them with them at home. Now there's different subjects that we're offering at the moment. The one that we have that is 100% ready, good to go, we've been sending it out to schools, is Black History Month, of course. We're coming up to the end of October soon enough, but Black History Month is still going strong. So if anyone wants to inquire about the workbooks or would like to have them emailed over to them, please send us a direct message and we can get that sent up to you. And then what we will also do is just let you guys know, I mean, we're going to be doing regular lives anyway. I think we've got a lot to speak about. So we're going to be doing a few different lives that will be speaking about different subjects as well. But there's a number of workbooks and subjects that we can offer. Just to give you a little insight, we've got mental health, and we've got anti-knife crime, we've got gang related workbooks as well. So anything that's kind of like very, very prominent and important at the moment, we have available, we have ready. So please send us a DM. But Instagram is going to cut me off in a minute, so I better speed this up. But thank you so much to everyone who joined. Thank you so much to Junaid. You've been amazing. The comments have been amazing. Thank you to everyone who's been so humble and supported us. It's been amazing. And look out for the next one. See you guys later. Take care. Bye.